welcome to another episode of Chatty Broads with Becca and Jess.
Well, hello there, broads. Here we are. Hello. This is the first Tuesday in how long since we haven't started with a Bachelor recap? Because we went straight from Claire Tayshia season directly into Matt's season.
Was it literally back-to-back weeks?
Yeah.
I think we had 1 week break. Did we have 1 week?
Oh, I think we did have 1 week, but I think you and I took a break because it was like Christmas time.
Oh.
No. It was, we took a break. It was the only, we've had never taken a full week off without any podcast because we were recording the recap for Tayshia's season 2 days before Christmas. And so we took the week off because my daughter was like,
"What is wrong with these people?
Where are you during the holidays?" And I'm like, "I got to talk about The Bachelor, girlfriend."
Okay. Speaking of which, someone was just telling me yesterday. So you and I thought that our original understanding was that it was going to be Katie's season, Paradise, Bachelor, then Michelle's season. But apparently now they're doing Katie's, Paradise, Michelle, then Bachelor. That's what someone just said the other day. Is that true?
Oh yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Oh,
right? Katie's.
Never mind.
Hold on.
Basically skipping a Bachelor season, and then doing Bachelor after the Bachelorette.
Oh,
that's what someone said.
Okay,
I don't know if that's true, and I want to hear. I can't figure it out.
Yes. Because they said Katie's going to be summer, and then Bachelor in Paradise, and then Michelle in the fall. I think.
Well, that's exciting.
I know, because honest to God, Bachelorette's so much better.
So much better
by a mile.
We can just completely steamroll through those men, those male contestants,
all those men. And honestly, again, what have we seen success in? Truly. No shade, but over the past few years, we're seeing
That's
success.
what I was thinking. I was like, maybe they're our hope is the Bachelorette.
Yeah, so we're just going to double down on Bachelorette season so that we have more successful love stories and that we don't continue to enrage Chris Harrison.
Speaking of which, we might as well get into that tea since we're on the topic.
Yes, let's get into that tea. I did want to take a moment before we dive in.
Yes.
Just because last week we had pre-recorded numerous episodes, and then the shooting happened. And I just wanted to take a moment to just recognize the absolute horror of that. It was a hate crime. It was a racially motivated hate crime.
Yes. Do you mind if I say something about that for a second? People were saying oh, well, he didn't intend to hurt those people because they were Asian. It was because he claimed that he had a sex addiction, which that's a whole other thing.
Yes.
But regardless, I feel like what people have been missing is that when you create jokes and media tropes about groups of people, that contributes to dehumanization. And those are tactics that we've used for years, in war, in order to dehumanize the other side, making little nicknames, making little jokes. All those little things contribute to dehumanization in our brains. And there's a million of them out there that you can easily see in movies, TV shows, jokes in pop culture, on the radio, and all of that about Asian people. And all of that contributes to viewing people with a lesser value. So when this murderer chose who they were going to target, you can't pretend as if all of those different things feeding in did not motivate this person to kill these people. All that is a part of it. And it's sick and disgusting.
And the fetishization of Asian women. It's just absolutely horrific. And I just wanted to take a moment and specifically send so much love and just I know prayers always sound so stupidly insignificant, but just know that we're thinking about you to like our Asian American, to our Native Hawaiian, our Pacific Islander broads. In the next like week or two, have an amazing guest coming on. She's going to be coming on and we're going to be talking about this. And just wanted to have a moment to just send love. And there's no words truly. But it's something that, we want to continue to talk about, especially in the words of Michaela, how to be the best co-conspirators for our AA NHPI broads.
Also, how about like stricter gun laws?
Also, there's that.
Because,
But anywho, I know we're getting into all this tea and all this Bachelor
today's
news and all
episode
that.
is not going to dive in further, but we're going to have an episode that is going to be diving
But we're going
in
to,
further.
and it's going to be either next week or the following week. And so just wanted to...
And I appreciate you taking time for acknowledgement.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that, like I said, we had pre-recorded these episodes last week, and I just wanted to just acknowledge that and send our love. And so... Oh, no easy transition.
I'm glad that you always take time to acknowledge in the beginning of the conversation, because I think that it is good to be like, we're not ignoring this. Like, we're not pretending like any of this didn't happen. And we're going to take time to talk through these issues further and shed more light and awareness on these issues. And anyway.
Yeah. And really looking forward to the guests that we have coming on.
Yay.
You all will love her.
Thanks, Jess.
A lot. Yeah. All right. Well,
okay, so what are we going to be talking about today, though? So like we said, we're going to talk about Chris Harrison. We're going to talk about some other Bachelor Nation, just news, who's hanging with who, what's going on.
Yes, we need to talk about Chris Harrison. We need to talk about Matt James. We need to talk about Kelly and Peter. We need to talk about Bennett and whatever he is doing on Instagram these days.
Speaking of Kelly.
Barb. A couple Bachelor Nation
just
news
goofy
pieces. And then we do want to have a conversation about all the news surrounding David Dobrik recently.
Oh, yeah, we're going to hop into some YouTube stuff, because Jess and I, we've gone down the rabbit hole a little bit before. Did we ever talk about the Logan Paul stuff? We did, didn't we?
We did a little bit.
Episodes like a long time ago.
This is a long time ago. Listen, Becca and I think it might shock some of you, but we are secret like YouTube connoisseurs. Like we do know a fair amount. We do know a fair amount about the YouTube world.
Honestly, I can't keep up with it though, because YouTube is like too fast moving. Like
when I hop on the YouTube and I'm trying to figure out all the tea channels, like the big YouTube tea channels, I don't know how these people sleep. The amount of content that they have to put out,
that's the problem.
Every like 2 hours is wild.
That's the problem. YouTube is long form content. Like it's not like Instagram with like a photo and maybe like a 60-minute. People are coming out with like 18-minute apology videos and like 30-minute calling out videos and like referencing a video that was 12 minutes. Like it's a lot to keep up on, but we do try.
I do try. It's kind of a side hobby of mine.
But we thought that this was really important to shed light on, because I think David Dobrik is doing everything he can to try to keep his dark secrets in the closet, and we are ready to air out that dirty laundry.
David Dobrik, and I think there was a legit episode maybe like 8 months ago where we talked, maybe, I don't know if it was now. Sometimes I mix up if we're like on mic or off mic. But I feel like there was an episode where we had a couple hot takes about things and David Dobrik's name got brought up. And I remember you and I joking about being like, oh God, we're about to get attacked by David Dobrik's stans.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I think it was just briefly mentioned that I was like, I have some issues with David Dobrik. And it's been a long time feeling for me. And now all this is coming to the surface.
I wonder if he brought it up when we were talking about Logan Paul.
Probably.
Or Jake Paul, or whoever the frick we were talking about.
Probably. I know I got all of this started for me because my little sister watched, she was watching all these YouTubers, not so much anymore, but numerous years ago, she would be watching all this and she'd be talking about it all the time. So like, of course, I'm like, okay, well, if the younger generation, like I gotta stay keyed in. And then I went down the whole rabbit hole, and now I mean,
a lot of them are falling from grace right now, like, or have fallen from grace. Like it's it's always kind of shocking when like Jake Paul is the one like kind of doing the least problematic stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, when Logan Paul, who was, I think, maybe one of the original YouTubers who had the full fall from grace after the horrific Suicide Forest situation.
Oh my God, I remember the day that happened.
Yeah, and that was, I don't remember how many years ago that was now.
It was like 4 years. I was nannying at the time.
Yeah, but now he's the one who's like doing like,
he's the one with the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, I mean, it does not compare with some of these other people at the moment.
No, like it's just wild. Like,
Shane Dawson,
God. James Charles, even though that's not like he's not.
No, he's still rocking.
He's still rocking and rolling. But like Jenna Marbles took herself offline. There and then I feel like the whole Jeffree Star. I feel like the whole thing really started to crumble again when the whole like James Charles, Jeffree Star, Tati thing started like 2 years ago.
And it's just been downhill or uphill, depending on your perspective, ever since.
Yeah.
For me, uphill.
Uphill, absolutely. Accountability.
Drama.
Yep. So before we get into all the YouTube stuff, because there's a lot to talk about. Should we hit a quick Batch Nation piece before we have a moment?
Yeah. So
okay, first and foremost, I would like to discuss what is happening, the current Chris Harrison happenings.
Okay. This was like shocking to me, to be honest. All right. I always had the understanding that the girls were going to, do their little takeover for this season.
Yes.
And then Chris was going to be back. Like, that's what I thought was going to happen. Yes. I'm not making any comments on like how I feel or whatever. Just saying that's what I assumed was going to happen. Mm-hmm. That's what I had heard being buzzed about the town. Well, now there is new drama.
New drama.
Page 6 released a little thing about Chris Harrison. Mm-hmm. And basically, he is lawyering up.
Power lawyer, they said.
Yes, I love when they use the word power attorney.
I was just like, what does that even mean?
The same lawyer who represented someone in their dispute with America's Got Talent.
Oh, Gabrielle Union. I don't even know what the dispute.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
You don't. Oh, I love Gabrielle Union.
Chris Harrison has the same lawyer and a friend of Harrison's. Do you think this is Lauren Zima? I like to believe that Lauren Zima is feeding Page 6 this news.
You know what? That fully makes sense. I did not tap into that when I was reading this article. And yes, now 1,000%, the friend of Chris Harrison has to be Lauren Zima. Right? She has all the connections to all of the drama, all of the
outlets. She would even know like which outlets. One to go to.
Mm-hmm. She has the relationship with everybody.
And with him. Mm-hmm. So Chris has had a spotless record for 20 years, says the friend. I'm using air quotes. He has always been the good company man. The good company man. I mean, I believe that. But after the way he's been treated by producers and executives over the past couple of weeks, he's run out of cheeks to turn. The dramatic phrasing.
Level of drama.
He's run out of cheeks to turn.
You know what I believe, truly?
What?
Now that you're saying that Lauren Zima contacted, I truly believe that Chris Harrison
wrote this and
because it sounds like something. It sounds like something from one of his romantic novels.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The pal added. The pal.
I like the pal. What a strange way to refer to like a
pal
friend.
Yeah. Now he's ready to tell the truth about how things really work over there, and he has plenty of evidence to back it up.
I mean, this is about to burn, everybody. Like, it is about to burn. Becca sent me the Elmo on fire emoji. Like this, what is about to go down, truly. Because like you said, I was under the impression that Caitlyn, Tayshia were going to take over for Chris for a minute. And I brought up to you that I was like, what I was feeling on edge about was the fact that, again, Katie, a white woman, is getting Tayshia and Caitlyn. But then Michelle, a black woman, now Chris Harrison's going to be back? Like, that just felt, I don't know. Like, I didn't feel right about that. But
he's going to do the work, Jess. He's going to do the work.
He's going to do the work. But here's the thing. so many people who we all want to see on Bachelor in Paradise have been very vocal about saying they are not comfortable with Chris Harrison hosting. So I'm wondering if now ABC, the producers of The Bachelor, are stuck in the situation where it's like everyone's favorites are saying, I'm not comfortable going on Bachelor in Paradise. And they're like, well, shit.
Yeah, but I wonder, I mean...
And Chris Harrison's like...
I wonder how many people would actually put the money where their mouth is if Chris was hosting for Paradise.
I don't know.
I mean, I'd like to believe a lot, but who really knows? The irony is that this attorney repped Gabrielle Union and her dispute against America's Got Talent after she complained of racism in a toxic environment on the talent show. And then was let go as a judge.
And now this person's defending Chris Harrison?
Well, who knows what's going on behind the scenes? I mean, who fucking knows?
Well, the thing that's kind of wild is that, like, obviously the discussion we're having is about Chris Harrison losing his goddamn mind in his interview with Rachel Lindsay and seeing the true colors, you know.
Well, no, what I mean by behind the scenes is I'm saying, like, basically, maybe he has receipts of, like, the kind of racist shit, direct receipts of the kind of racist shit that's going on behind the scenes. So maybe he's gonna come out and be like, oh, really? You're gonna fire me after, like, I had this interview? Oh, let's talk about what your entire production and your entire show has been doing for the last 5 years. Let's talk about that and bring proof. God. That's what I bet he's trying to do.
Yes.
Like, I bet he's not going to talk about his personal mistreatment. I bet he's going to be like, oh, you want to know about, like, this and that? Oh, here's texts from Mike Fleiss. Here's this and that.
Oh my
like,
God.
let's talk about how anti-racist The Bachelor really is. I bet that's what he's going to try to bring to the table.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Now, the question is, do you think that producers, everyone is going to be like, we're so sorry, and, like, back down and just, like, let him jump into it per norm? Or do you think we're going to go into, like, a full board courtroom situation?
One can pray this will be war.
I mean, oh my God. We might not have a show at the end of this.
That's what I'm really hoping for. I'm hoping he burns it to the fucking ground. Because who knows? Like, the next couple years, I mean, remember, Jessica Lanyadoo, she's like, this is going to be about burning the institution to the ground.
Yes.
Like, maybe
and The Bachelor is the first
the age-old institution of the United States media, The Bachelor.
Oh my God, you're so right.
So who knows?
I
This
mean,
could all go up in flames.
I mean, I am on the edge of my seat, fascinated.
I really think that that's what he's going to try to bring.
I also...
Which makes sense, right? Like, what else would he try to, like, lawyer up for?
That's true. Like, what is he going to say? Like, he's just going to be like he said, he's been a good company guy, man. Like, maybe...
That's not much of an argument. And I don't think this attorney would pick up the case.
That's very true. That's very true. Oh my God. What? Yeah, you know what? Yes, I hope it gets burnt to the ground, because straight up, it's like, oh God, yeah.
You got to even wonder if, like, who knows who's going to get, like, brought in. Like, what if Matt James is going to be, like, on Chris Harrison's side? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, not on his side, but like, I wonder if some of the leads are going to
Chris?
be, not defend Chris, but be like, yeah, there's some, you know, like, Cause I sort of get where that's coming from. If it's like, this was my fuck up and these are all the fuck ups that have been happening in the dark. You know what I mean? So, like, I could see certain cast members being like, yeah, this is what was said to me, or this is what was done to me.
Not coming out to defend or justify, just
be like, you're a hypocrite.
Chris did is absolute shit, but then let's talk about production.
This is the definition of performative by ABC. Wow. If they're going to remove this host, even though they have this laundry list of all their wrongdoings that they have never taken accountability for.
Oh my God.
You know?
Yep. Oh, wow. I mean, I will say too, I did notice in an interview recently that Matt James did specifically say, like, this Matt James words, not mine.
Matt James.
That he said that he hopes that Chris Harrison is brought back on to continue hosting after he has done the work and after being called in and all this. So he brought that up. I thought that was interesting. especially considering some of the things that we observed in the final
But
episodes
then it
where
makes you
Chris
wonder,
Harrison was
like-
being so scary.
But it makes you wonder what maybe was going on behind the scenes
Yeah.
with Matt. And so maybe Matt's like, Chris Harrison, that's the tip of the iceberg. He was always nice to me.
I wonder if there's a piece of like, and this is again just these are theories
Conjecture.
throwing around, but like if there's a piece of like with the dynamic with Chris, it's like he's this host that pops in and pops out, and it's like, yeah, I don't have, because most everybody that I read was saying like I don't have any like specifically negative experiences with Chris. Like he seemed fine. He came in, he talked. But I wonder if, like, again, how Rachel Lindsay brought up that she knows for a fact that Matt James was not comfortable with the footage of him and his father airing. Like, if Matt is now feeling like, oh, I thought I had these friendships in production and I was completely exploited.
Exactly.
Huh.
So it makes you wonder how this will all play out.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, you know, and then there's now this weird tie-in with everything that's going on with how Matt James, what has been going on with Matt James on Instagram the past couple days.
Okay, wait, one more thing before we get into that, because I want to talk about that.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I think what might happen, and this is the worst case scenario, is that there might be an out-of-court settlement with a lot of hush money for Chris.
I mean, not if we make enough stink about it. You know what I'm saying? If the people are just like,
I mean, it would like, it wouldn't absolve him, but I think it would shift the public eye, you know, away from him to be like, oh no, he's actually part of this whole institution.
yeah, he's one of the pieces of
What did
this
they call him, the Meghan Markle thing?
Oh,
the firm.
The firm. He's part of the firm. He's one of the members of the firm.
No, he's not one of the members of the firm. He's just just
one of the royal
royals.
family. Now, another unfortunate case scenario would be if this all happens, we find out all this behind the scenes shit. Everyone from the Bachelor franchise, like behind the scenes production wise, gets fired, and then Chris Harrison takes it on himself, and everyone's just like, well, cool. So now he's the main, he's the head guy, he's the nucleus of this whole thing. Oh, Lord in heaven.
I'm going to look more into that Gabrielle Union thing, because I want to find out what ended up happening with that case, and if she got a bunch of cash, or like what the hell happened.
I remember like, now that you say that, I remember hearing, I don't watch that show, so I wasn't really sure like what was going on.
No, we don't watch trash reality TV like America's Got Talent.
No, absolutely not.
Only good TV around here.
Only YouTubers
Jokes.
And The Bachelor,
Yeah.
honestly. And some Love Island. Yeah. Wild. Okay, well, I want to talk about Matt, but before we talk about Matt, can we take a quick little pause? So I got to ask myself, broads, how, or I guess why, I'll say why, have I gone my entire adult life settling for good enough when it comes to period care? Don't our bodies deserve more than that? We shouldn't have to pick and choose between longevity, leak-proof, eco-friendly, all that. When it comes to period care, we should be able to have it all. But now, thanks to Flex, there's finally period care products that check all the boxes, body safe, made for comfort, better for the environment. Flex Fit products, they do it all.
Oh my God. So I've been using the Flex Cup for a while, but I recently started trying the Flex Disc, and this is pretty cool. The Flex Disc can be worn for up to 12 hours. It holds as much flow as 3 super tampons, so already that's amazing, and I need that protection. But get this, and this is why I love it. This is incredible, because cups can't do this. Discs are the only period care product on the market that allows you to have mess-free period sex.
Yes.
Yeah. Like literally on your white sheets, you're good, no mess, I promise. And the disc itself, it's almost like a mix between a cup and a tampon, but it's flexible, so it sits perfectly flat inside your body. It's like you aren't wearing anything at all. It's really cool.
It is the future, truly. And like, not to overshare, I'm just going to say this. Yes, broads. All the above. It's 100% true. I recently tried it and it is incredible. And also too, like if the cup is more your style, the Flex Cup is the best one out there. It's got a patented pull tab that makes removing it super easy. And of course it lasts for years and has helped me a ton with PMS symptoms like cramps. I'm a customer for life. That's for sure.
Guys, say goodbye to cramps, put sex back on the table, and lend Mother Nature a hand. Go to flexfits.com/chatty and use code chatty for 20% off the Flex Disc Starter Kits, or you can get 10% off your first Flex Cup, love, plus free US shipping. That's code chatty at Flex, FLEX fits, FITS.com/chatty. Flexfits.com/chatty.
Broads, I made a big, huge mistake today. Let me tell you. It's just as much of a hassle as I remember. I'm talking about the post office.
Oh my God. I have to go this week for passport stuff.
I'm so sorry the line was out the door. It was a nightmare. I don't know. I didn't have the passport situation. I don't know what compelled me to do this because come on, like why would I ever want to do this? I could easily go online and do it with stamps.com.
Yeah, come on. Stick to that, girlfriend.
Take it from me. Stick to stamps.com. I mean, I'm never going back.
Stamps.com literally brings the post office to you. You can easily use your own computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send. And when you're ready to go, just schedule a super simple pickup and the job is done.
Stamps.com could not make it easier on you. And not only is mailing and shipping easier than ever, you're going to save a ton of money and you'll get access to discounts up to 40% off post office rates and 62% off UPS shipping rates. What are you waiting for? Beck and I both use it. Been using it for years, actually. And it's just like, it's just such a lifesaver.
Stop wasting time going to the post office and go to stamps.com instead. There's no risk. And with our promo code chatty, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to stamps.com. Click on the mic at the top of the homepage. Type in chatty. That's stamps.com. Promo code chatty. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again. Okay. So in Matt James news, a few days ago, Matt James deleted all of his posts on Instagram. He fully pulled a Colton, except as soon as I saw that he deleted all of his posts, I was imagining a lot of it came from an incredible amount of hate after the season. I mean, when I was just glancing through his comments, it was absolutely atrocious to me. Like just all of that. Also, another thing that came out too is that's associated with Rachel Kirkconnell is that this Facebook group started that was just called like I love Rachel Kirkconnell, or like I stand by her,
or something like that. And
like stand by her. She's.
It was like, what are you talking? She was, yeah. So basically this Facebook group started and it got a lot of members really quickly. And apparently it just became a forum for hatred and racism spewing towards Matt James. And then someone saw that one of the admins
was her
mother.
Now, Rachel actually spoke out about this on her Instagram story, which I have to say props to her because usually the move for everyone is just like, hush, hush, let it slip on by.
And apparently whoever contacted Rachel about this Facebook group, Rachel got the group deleted and like, her mom's not in it anymore and whatever. And she did respond back to someone saying, like, I'm not an excuse for my actions, but, I'm not. She
said on her story, she was like, please don't confuse. Like, I can't, she was basically, I can't control what my family does.
Yeah.
Which I've kind of said before where I'm like, people are pointing to like her mom and her dad or what they do. And I'm like, dude, I can't control what my parents do either.
Yeah. So I would think that a combination, at least this is what was my process, is a combination of all the hate that Matt was getting personally combined with hearing about all of that, which I can't imagine how like unbelievably devastating that would be to, I'm sure, like, I mean, first of all, we know that he met her family.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure when they were dating for numerous months off that he'd have conversations with her family. And then to find out this like Facebook bullshit, like all of that, it was almost like my brain was like, oh, he's just wiping the slate clean.
I'd also imagine like it's gotta suck to be pitted against like your ex and someone that you're still trying to get over, like in public, like pitted against like you're either on Rachel's side or Matt's side.
Yes.
Like that's gotta suck. I'm sure he's just like, dude, I just want to move on. And something I have to appreciate about Matt, he's been posting all this weird cryptic shit on his story from his Twitter. And I have to say I kind of love it because I don't understand where he's what he's going through, but I also sort of feel him. I'm like, yeah, man, like I see you're kind of going off the deep end right now, But I'm like, there's something sort of amusing to me because I'm like, I know that like through this, and I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but I know that like going through this for him, like I know that in a year or two, Matt's gonna have like such a deeper sense of self and like who he is and what he wants. And I saw an interview or something where he was like, I'm not gonna be dating at all. Like I need to work on myself. Mm-hmm. And I love it because what we're seeing from Matt is like he's not being like a clout goblin. Like he does not want, he's had a taste of this fame and he knows the darkness that comes with it. And he's like, I gotta wash my hands clean and do some soul searching.
And on top of that, like talk about not being a clout goblin, like the man barely posted on Instagram in general, like even his Insta stories. He'd only typically post himself skateboarding and like the like hydroponic gardens or whatever he was working on. Like, I mean, and then the occasional cheese board or like his Lunchable thing. And, you know, Tyler Cameron was the one who's like chasing after all that merch. I don't think Matt James posted about it once. Like this, he's just, but then he starts posting, like you said, all this cryptic stuff. And everyone's just like, what is going on? So at first he posts a date.
Yeah, March 21.
Yes.
Everyone's like, March 21.
Which that was yesterday. Okay, not sure. And then he starts posting, I'm going to read through these, talking about...
people looked up, and what I saw in the Twitter thread was that March 21st is like International End... like racial discrimination day or something like that.
Okay, yes, okay. So he posted that.
But still, like, you have to do a little bit of deep digging to figure out that, if that is why he's posting it.
Right. Maybe it was a personal anniversary of something. Like, we don't know, right? Like,
well, don't know why he's posting on his Twitter, but go for it, Matt.
Yeah. And then he posts about non-fungible tokens. And he starts this thread. And he said, as I've been learning about NFTs, non-fungible tokens, came across the story of a coup. This entire message really resonated with me, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. And he tags this person. He says, as I've been learning about NFTs, a key takeaway from me is community over money. My story will eventually be told, #NFTs. A lot of people have been asking me about NFTs, if I ever made an NFT, if it would have to tell my real story. And then the next one is, a community is built by being authentic, #NFTs. And so...
my man.
First of all, I'm like, I appreciate that you also don't understand what an NFT is, like myself.
This is someone going off the rails, which I love and appreciate.
But then... one of the broads left this theory.
Yeah, I know.
Which is actually very, very interesting theory, okay? Yeah. Because if Matt James...
he's leaving us breadcrumbs.
Yes.
32121. Yes. Is that the NFT code?
He's leaving us these breadcrumbs. He's talking about how the key takeaway is going to be community over money, right? Because I don't know if you've gotten into the NFTs, but like how horrible they are for the environment. There's so much shit with crypto and all this. It's
what?
Yeah.
How are they bad for the environment?
I'm not even
Isn't this all internet stuff?
That's what I thought. And I'm like, how does that make sense? If you dive into, maybe we should have someone on to explain this because it's wild. You gotta Google it.
What is an NFT?
Okay, an NFT, you know what? I'm gonna actually like literally just give you the definition so that I don't sound like an absolute idiot.
Like, I don't even know what fungible is. And what the fuck is a token? Like, when someone says token, I think Chuck E. Cheese.
I mean, I wish. You could make an NFT of a Chuck E. Cheese
what does
token.
that mean? Is it an image? What?
So a non-fungible token, or NFT, are cryptographic assets on blockchain with unique identification
What's blockchain? There's too many words and I don't know what they mean.
Data that distinguish them from each other. Unlike cryptocurrencies, they cannot be traded or exchanged. So basically,
just the one person has it.
So this is, or you can make a few copies of it, whatever. But what you could do is literally, you and I could do this right now, and someone could take a screenshot of it and sell it as an NFT.
Why?
I don't know why people are doing this. There was an NFT that was just sold for like $18 million, and it was like some guy's art piece, and it's not physical. It's only online. And I don't know, my small non-financial brain does not understand how this is like exploding like it is.
Is this just like a new, I mean, it's cryptocurrency, so I guess it's just a new form of like $100 bill. It's just a piece of paper. Like $100 bill isn't even worth anything unless you give it worth.
But check this shit out.
But it's not trade. You can't trade it or exchange it. Mean you can't use it as currency.
Correct. So Kings of Leon just sold their album as an NFT. So someone owns.
So do they now own the copyright laws?
No, it's like it's separate. That's why I don't quite get it. But I'm assuming when Matt James is talking about the NFT,
it's like this is like made up. This is like a kid's game, you know.
I don't get it. Like, I'm like, oh wait,
where you're
world am I living in?
That's like when you're a kid and you're like, here's a rock. It's worth $2 million.
Yes,
and you just make it up, and then it's a thing.
Correct.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Correct. So I'm guessing when Matt James is talking about that, his key takeaway is community is bigger than money, is that I know right now there are a lot of like really big celebrities who are like just raking in tons of money by selling a random like NFT like photo of themselves doing something, like whatever, just all this shit.
So like what can you like screenshot the NFT and then like distribute it?
No, it's like, this is what I don't get about NFTs.
Like, for example, could I like, am I missing the point? Or like, could we sell like an NFT that's just like us naked and then only one person could have it?
Yes, even though other people can see it and they can technically screenshot it, but they don't own it. So you and I could probably sell every episode of this podcast as an NFT and yet continue to have ads on it and it's ours and we have the IP, but like they own the, I don't.
So it can be like any form of digital media file. Like it could be a video.
I thought at first that it was just like a graphic, but I've heard now recently that like it can be video. It is for sure video, but also audio as well.
Is this going to be one of those things where like I wish I had bought an NFT?
I mean, more than bought an NFT is probably wish that you would
capitalized on it while it was
NFTs.
a thing. Okay, honey, Evan, get on this.
But it's just like, again, don't come for me because I might not. I don't.
Let's have the Chatty Bros do it. Let's
I don't
have them
get
make
all
an
this
NFT.
shit. But there's something that seems so shady to me. Like it's just like, I guess if someone wants it and they want to spend the money on feeling like they own this piece, but it just feels like a way to like. If you're an artist, that's one thing. You're selling like a graphic. Like there's all these artists who are doing NFTs that I think that's really cool. But like random celebrities being like, here's a photo of me. Like I think Lindsay Lohan just sold one for a ton of money recently. And I think it's maybe because I just don't understand it.
Evan,
but
sell
also
Chatty
like
Bros now on NFTs. Do we get it? Do we understand? So anyway.
Okay, but here's the thing though. I think when Matt James is saying the key takeaway is the community over money, I think what it has to do with is, I mean, again, this is just my guesses, is that that maybe it's having something to do with like, because he does care about environmental things, that it has something to do with the environment. And like he's maybe saying that he's going to put out an NFT and letting us know he's going to put out an NFT. But he believes that what the importance of NFTs isn't maybe just to like make all this money, but to actually tell a story. As he said, the community, right? Yeah. And so now we had a broad, and I am so sorry that I don't have your name on this screenshot, and I feel very sad about this, but please let us know. Give yourself the credit for this, please. But this broad said, okay, so here's my theory. NFTs are encrypted digital files that can guarantee authenticity for a video, work of art, etc. My guess is that Matt is going to take advantage of the NFT craze and create one with his story told in his words and share it before his contract is up and doesn't give an F about being sued by ABC. Basically, if he does it in this form, then it means that his story can't be messed with or taken out of context the way ABC has messed with him and so many other people. Again, it's just my theory and I can be 10,000% wrong. I just feel bad for now that he's being treated, and I hope he gets to tell his story and go on with living his life in peace.
So why would he be able to release his story as an NFT and not get sued by ABC?
I think that he would get sued.
Okay. Like, I guess I just don't understand of why he would distribute it as an NFT versus like just with any publication.
Maybe because it's the craze of the NFT, and maybe he's getting involved in it a little bit, but he's saying like, if we're going to be doing NFTs, there should be like meaning behind it. Okay, well, not just random like a random way to make cash.
When I saw him post this, I went through like as always, there's different sectors of the internet and different purposes behind each platform. So I think one thing that he's probably thinking in his own mind right now, and one of the reasons he probably deleted all his posts from social media is because, you know, he was saying like it's about community over money and authenticity over money. And he's probably trying to like, I feel like he's in like a period of going through his own like enlightenment journey of just finding who he is and all that. So I feel like he's probably rejecting the commodity of Instagram. Like, I have made all of these followers and can now make all of this cash off of this traumatic experience that I had, or I can like pursue something different. And this account that he tagged, Aku Dreams, or Aku, I don't know how to say that. This is something that I've seen on Instagram before and other social media platforms, which is like the convergence of like something like NFTs or like Instagram to develop like a world. And that's what this Aku Dreams account sort of is. It's like a narrative about like a character. And it's very like, I was talking about this with one of my old nanny moms because she was telling me about an artist that's on Instagram. I think it's connected to, I just went down the rabbit hole. There's like artists who will sort of create these like dreamscapes like on Instagram almost, incorporating like one main character in their digital art, and then we'll start to branch out and create like a graphic novel for the character or actual figurines, and it sort of becomes like this whole world. And that seems like what the creator of Aku Dreams is trying to accomplish, and that specifically is about like a character who's Black who becomes an astronaut, like a kid. And so I think like Matt's just, I don't know if he's gonna release a story as an NFT. I see it almost more as him like unpacking like these new forms of interacting with people that decommodifies his human experience and turns it into something like being a part of something greater rather than basically turning into another influencer. I don't know. That was kind of like gibberish, but based on the account he tagged and stuff, like I think he's interested in developing like a way to share like his human experience that might even be shifted away from his personal experience, but into like, I don't know, like maybe he's interested in going into this world of like art and
maybe
and expressing his experience through some other channel,
maybe.
But just based on like if you go through that account and go through who created the account and like through who created that account is through these things called art angels who like do graphic art stuff, and this other account called Nifty Gateway that's a marketplace for rare digital artwork. And like I don't know, I'm not in that whole world, but it seems like he's dipping his toes in.
It seems like it.
And I think that's the kind of funny thing, and why I kind of like am smiling at Matt is because I think like a lot of people are going to be like Matt's going to release. I think Matt doesn't want to talk about his Bachelor experience right now.
Yeah.
Like I think he's more interested in developing like a community of people and achieving a higher knowledge like about himself and the world around him.
He had a lot of things that he was doing before he started before he came on this show, and it seems that it was not a great experience. Yeah. And so maybe it's just like, I just want to go back to what I was doing. And now because of his fame and followers, there is always more of an opportunity to be able to do more things that you're interested in doing.
And no shade to Tyler, I think that Matt isn't actually as interested in being the main character of his own platform as like other people. I'm the same way. I like being the main character of my platform. I don't think Matt wants to be that. I think he wants to create things and be the one standing behind it. That's the sense that I get from him. I just really did a character analysis based on very little information, but
well, you just watch him for an entire season.
Yeah, and kind of his social media before, like I just think he's not interested in taking center stage, and I think that now probably with his experience like being harassed on the TV show and then online following the TV show, I think he's had his foray with being the famous personal individual.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. I mean, that definitely makes sense to me.
He's back on in a week. He's like selling sweatbands or whatever, you know? Or what are those called? The sweat waist things, you know? Sweet sweat.
What are those?
Colton used to sell them, where it was like, or do ads for them where you like, you wear it around your waist when you're working out, and it like helps you like sweat around your abdomen and supposedly like burn fat or something.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you mean a waist trainer? That's out here in Skims. He's just like looking gorge.
Anyway, all right, that was enough. I went on a weird little tangent about that.
Well, like I said, and honestly, like, please do not come for me with the NFT shit because I really don't know. I've been really trying to listen to things to try to get info on
You're
it.
listening and learning and growing.
I'm
about
trying.
NFTs.
I'm really trying, and I still really don't get it. And I apologize, but I'm really trying, and I still don't get it. I still don't get it.
He also said, make sure you're happy in real life today.
Yeah, I saw that. That made my heart
I'm not
sad.
mad, but I bet I look happy on the internet, okay? And that's what matters. Just kidding. Okay,
so in other Bachelor news, let's talk about Kelly on Caitlin Bristow's podcast, Off the Vine. I just want to let everybody know
I didn't listen to this.
that Caitlin Bristow had Kelly on, and Kelly kind of just spilled the whole tea about her and Pete's relationship. Basically, here are the bullet points.
Yeah, give it to me.
Kelly was invited by producers to come to After the Final Rose for Pete's season. She still does not know why they invited her.
Oh my God, when she was in the audience, I forgot about that.
Remember that?
Yep.
So I think that they were trying to like stir up some drama. She had bumped into him at like a football game, and they had kind of had like
I'm sure they bumped into each other at their hotel room that night too.
Yeah. But I guess he asked her, he said something to her like, did you ever really like me? And like they started getting into it.
But did you like me?
But did you like really like me, or like were you there for the fame? And she, I guess, went on the show, she said, because she was considering going on the show, but she was on the fence. And then when she ran into him at that wedding and they started talking, she was like, this is destiny.
Yeah.
Like I actually met him in real life, whatever.
Okay, I get that.
Me too. And so then they started obviously dating again. And basically like she didn't directly say this, but what it very much sounded like was that it probably was a cheating situation.
Yeah.
She did make it clear that he likes to party a lot. And I think she probably like was okay with some, but it was constant, i.e. all these videos of Pete that we see in random people's apartments all the time. And
okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I don't think I should speculate on this on the podcast. But
oh my God, what are you gonna say?
Cut this.
Okay, well, we didn't want to get sued, so we cut that out. You're just gonna have to speculate. I don't want Chris Harrison and the Bachelor crew coming for my ass.
No, I'm basically saying like I think there might be some issues behind the scenes.
Yeah,
who knows? It's clear there's some issues that broke up.
So then she said, and which was like some of the heaviest tea part of it, is that she said they never, like, they dated and they broke up and they bumped into each other. They never officially got back together again. And Caitlin said if Peter was ever in like a legal situation where he needed some advice because of her, being a lawyer, she's like, if he reached out to you, what would you do? And she's like, I wouldn't pick up the call. So doesn't seem like it's a smooth ending.
Yeah, amicable, right? Sounds like they have a good relationship.
So my guessy-wessy is that probably they broke up because of his partying. They bumped into each other again and probably started to hook up. And then he was like probably leading her on or something, whatever. And then it was just like she probably tried to make it work a couple times.
Oh, wait. I didn't even know they got back together after they broke up. Like they were spotted together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. With other people like from Bachelor Nation together, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like they saw that they were at the same bar.
But then they were also looked like they were alone at some place. So it's probably one of those things that like she kind of keeps going back to him. They have a special connection. They probably they got really good chemistry, and he's probably just being Peter. And she's just like, no more. And she said she's open to going on Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh God, Kelly, no, stop.
She seems like she probably wants to go on, and I know someone who wants her to be there.
Stop. I can't. No, I can't. Okay, let's talk about it. One of the most disturbing things that I've seen from Bachelor Nation in a very long time, Kelly, being the lawyer that you are, I highly suggest filing a restraining order prior to Paradise. Guys, we need to talk about Bennett. Someone come get him.
Bennett, okay, we've had discussions on this podcast before about Bennett's social media presence and how just wacky sauce it is, okay? It's wild.
Who is he?
I don't know, Becca, and I'm starting to, is this all a joke and I'm just not getting it? Like, I get that
That's what makes him so scary. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. And I feel like normally you and I can pick up on shit pretty well. Like, we can get when you're trying to be funny or whatever. And sometimes he'll then say, he goes, oh, you know me, I'm just messing around, da da da. But you're like, but there's a line that you cross that you're like, this, I get you trying to be funny. But then there are some videos that are, well, and even like, okay, when he sang that, when he did the in the shalala,
I didn't know if he was being serious. I couldn't tell
either. But then when I was looking at the comments from people, it seemed like he was being serious.
No, exactly. He seemed like he was actually kind of defensive, right? But like trying to be funny while being defensive.
You see the video, and that's the thing with Bennett. So you see the video and you go, there's no way this is for real, right? This has to be him being funny. And then you read the caption and then his comments to people and him getting defensive or like appreciating people for complimenting him. It's like, wait a second. What is happening?
I don't know. But it also seems like if he was tagged in, okay. One, it was I was looking at his tag right now to see if, because wasn't there, okay. Basically, he was talking about Kelly, and some Bachelor Instagrams like took screen recordings of him.
Yes.
And I was looking at his tagged things to see, did they tag him in it? Because I'm wondering if he removed the tag from his tagged posts. Because like that would say a lot about whether or not it's a joke to him.
Interesting.
Because you can like remove something that you're tagged in from showing up on your page.
Sure.
And
so he went on this Instagram, and you know, I had a lot of thoughts about it, but the whole entire conversation was, so Dale works with the Special Olympics. And so they were doing like a jump rope challenge. And like, so Dale was asking people to participate in it. And then Bennett participated in it and nominated other people to do it. And so then he sat down and he used it as a moment to talk about stopping Asian hate. Yeah. And he's like, I know that I'm probably going to like, not say all the right words, but I just wanted to say something. He did call out Chris Harrison in his video. He stood by supporting Rachel Lindsay in his video. And so there were all these things happening. And it was like, as much as like, you know, there were moments that you were like, oh gosh, Bennett was trying to use his platform to speak up.
Yes.
So then he had nominated, and then it was explaining why he was nominating different people. And then it's all going it was fine, right? And then he gets to Kelly, who he randomly nominated. So he nominated like Dr. Joe, he nominated Chris Harrison, he nominated Rachel Lindsay, he nominated Tyler Cameron.
Which Tyler and him, you know, had a photo together on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Like, do you think he just slid into his DMs and like asked him to
go
out
to dinner?
Because then when
then
Tyler said yes?
When he did this nomination of the jump rope thing, he said kind of something that was like, oh, hey, like, it didn't make it sound like him and Tyler were actually friends. Like, he was like, hey, I've just been razzing you, guy. And so I was like, what's going on? But he gets to Kelly then.
Oh my God. This is where...
Out of nowhere, he's being very serious and he's trying to like I said, as much as like, you know, there were moments that you were like, guy, he's trying to use his platform to speak on something. And he was serious. And then he gets to Kelly. And he takes the longest, creepiest pause. And he was just like, said something like, and the stunning, gorgeous, effervescent Kelly Flanagan. Oh, I would love to watch you jump rope. And it's the creepiest shit ever.
And he said something too where he was like, I'd love to see like what you do with that. Or like something. Yeah. It was like very weird.
So out of left field, because again, you're having this moment where he is having a serious discussion and then he brings this shit up.
The way he said it, he might as well have just said outright, like, I want to see your titties bounce up and down.
Yes, he might as well just have said that.
The way he was saying it was so shocking.
It was so blatant. It was so blatant. In fact, Becca, now that I'm thinking, I believe that I have it recorded.
Oh, thank God.
I believe I have it recorded.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you.
So let me zip to this. Okay, got it.
Okay. Turn it up.
Okay, wait. Here we go.
Yeah.
Everybody ready?
Kelly Flanagan. You know, I'd probably love to see you do just about anything.
Ew, he's doing this creepy smirk.
Pretty nice to see you jump rope, too.
Wait, pause it for a second. Hold it down. Okay. This is the thing. He didn't even say the jump rope. He said, I would like to see you do just about anything. And then he said, and like, what did he say? Jump rope too. Play it again. Just roll again. Sorry.
And I think there was a part right before this where it said something about like the stunning whatever. Before he said Kelly Flanagan, but that's where I started it.
Kelly Flanagan. You know, I'd probably love to see you do just about anything.
Such an innuendo.
Be pretty nice to see you jump rope, too.
Ah! Oh my God. Restraining order.
Whenever you can, princess. I hope you'll grab a rope. And
wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Whenever you can, princess, I hope you grab a rope. Like all of this I'm reading into so hard. I'm like, grab a rope. You want to tie her up and put her in your basement, don't you? In your sex dungeon where you have other people held prisoner. Oh my God. I'd like to see, the way he said I'd like to see you do just about anything. I was like, you might as well have said right then. Just suck on my cock.
I wish that I had the beginning, because right before he said Kelly Flanagan's name, he did an intro for her where he was literally like the beautiful, classy, effervescent. Like he did like a
effervescent
something like that. I don't know.
Oh, I thought he actually said that.
I remember it was some fancy biz. I'd like to see you do just about anything. Now,
princess.
And there's a clip of her commenting on something where she like commented under one of his posts and says, and they screenshotted it, and they on Bachelor Windmill.
Thank you, Bachelor Windmill. You're doing the work.
You are doing the work. And Bachelor Windmill took this screenshot, and Kelly said something like under maybe one of his posts, like she said, don't be afraid to always be yourself. And Bennett commented on that and did a little asterisk and said adds to cart. Like you're adding Kelly to your cart.
Okay, again, we're reading in way too hard into this.
No, but like that's a weird. I'm sorry. Like, but like if I say something and you're like you're a fan of me and you're like, oh, I am interested in getting to know you. I've never heard anyone say that. Don't in reference to me say add to cart. Like you're adding me to your cart.
Same day delivery, please.
I'm just like, excuse me. If you want to like add my attitude, like you want to add my suggestion to your cart, maybe that's what he meant. But
okay, yeah, he does seem like someone who would take social media little lines out of context.
Yes,
like he's kind of boomer like that.
But again, if you legit saw like his face as he's saying this stuff, and then okay, but this all goes back to then these types of moments on Instagram where he. Oh, I can't do the music. Okay, let me turn the music off. There is a scene of him on his Instagram. It's a Reels, and he's preparing what
he's
he
only
says.
36. Like
he is preparing what he says a real cheese board should look like in reference to Matt James and the cheese boards. And it is him in man spreading more than I've ever seen anyone. He's in a robe, by the way, and he's open like this. And the cheese board is right here. You can go on his Instagram and look at it. And the cheese board is right here, full man spread. In a robe. And he shows the cheese board that he made, and he takes and puts like a shot of caviar on his hand and then licks it just like this.
Stop, Jess. I forgot about this until you reminded me.
Like this. There he is. There he is looking at it. and he shows it to you and then he licks it so sexually.
No, not okay. Go watch it on his account, Bennett Andrew Jordan.
So when you see that, and then in combination of the way that the Kelly thing happened and the way he's looking at the camera, and he's just like, I'd like to see you do just about anything. And he did this like.
I have a meme. We got to do a meme with that video. I've got one.
Beautiful.
I got one.
Beautiful.
Anyway,
I have the recording.
Oh my
gorgeous.
God.
So I don't know. Bennett is just, I mean, the social media presence of Bennett is quite frightening.
See, and for a second I was like, okay, maybe he like, I don't know. I thought like maybe he was just like a bit older. Like, you know, if he was like 41, 42, I'm like, maybe he like, you know, doesn't, I don't know. He's just weird. He's just a weird guy.
I mean,
he's creepy.
It's just so creepy. It's so creepy. And I am honestly like, if Kelly shows up on the sand in paradise and Bennett is there, I'm quaking thinking about the first interaction. He is going to come to her and he's going to do this, milady, and do like a full dip. By the way, Bennett also is going to show up. I'm calling this right now.
Stop.
I'm calling this right now, Becca. Everyone shows up on Paradise in their bathing suit. Bennett will be in a tuxedo.
Oh, yeah.
He will show up on the sand in a tuxedo.
My man, you've got it.
Yeah. So that's Bennett these days.
What is happening to him?
I don't know. It's like it used to be kind of wild, and now it's crossed the line where it's getting so creepy, and everyone is commenting like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And he continues. It's the biggest man spread I've ever seen in my life.
I know. It's like he wants you to see his dick. Yes, like accidentally. Do you think he's an exhibitionist? That's really scary.
Probably is. So he's in love with Kelly,
anyway.
Obviously. Other Bachelor in Paradise, just little side notes. We got some tea from a broad who I know, a broad who I know, who was saying that she does not believe that Noah and Maddie are a thing at all.
Yeah, so last week we were talking about them hanging out together with Ivan and someone else, don't remember. And I was like, oh my God, I said Noah and Maddie were a thing.
Well, apparently she was saying that Noah and Maddie aren't a thing. He and this person, Janine, who is connected to this other individual, who's Maddie's roommate / best friend, kind of were a thing before he went on Bachelorette. And so he's off limits to Maddie, she would say. It's the ex of a best friend, and I guess they're all like friends now or whatever. So, but what I will say to you is...
Wait, so Noah dated her roommate?
Yeah, / best friend.
Okay, got it.
Before
That's a small world.
Before the Bachelorette.
What the fuck?
Yeah, random, right? So, but I now have these thoughts because now I believe that we're going to have a fun dynamic in Paradise because Noah will be in Paradise, Maddie will be in Paradise, and Noah has already like a deep friendship with her. So I have a feeling that Noah's going to be like fucking calling out all the guys who like her, aka, Ben is going to be on the hunt for Maddie, and Noah and Ben do not seem to get along. And especially since after the whole Ben situation, Noah went straight on Nick Viall's podcast and spilled all the tea on Ben like right afterwards while he was still on the show. I think there's going to be...
Oh my God, if there is Ben Noah drama, I will be living. I just got chills because I'm like, oh my God. If Noah is coming for Ben on Paradise, and if he has any kind of receipts, I will be like... I will be the biggest Noah stan ever.
Listen, I believe in my deepest soul that it will be a Noah is like, hey, Maddie, don't go there. Like, I don't think it's a good idea. And then Noah, because Noah's got a fucking mouth on him.
Yes, I love it.
He's got a mouth on him. That he's going to go to Ben and like, there's going to be like a very chirpy situation going on. I believe it. Because also, again, Ivan and Noah are best friends. Ivan will be on, Noah will be on, Maddie. They're all friends. And I don't think that Ivan and Noah have a good relationship with Ben.
And we stan Ivan.
And I mean, I could not stand Ivan harder. Also, IG crew that's been like hitting up IG lives every week.
Besides Sweetnums?
We'll talk about that in a second. Ivan, Damar, Chelsea and Piper have been doing these like 4-way IG lives, doing like
foursome.
Yes, doing like drinking games and like having like cute, fun Q&As together.
Oh my God, are they gonna be the kings and queens of the beach?
Oh my God, I hope so. They're so fun together, and I'm just like, oh God, please, also please bring Damar. You know I have such a huge crush on Damar.
I want to see more of him.
Me too. Anyways. And so he's friends with Damar. Ivan's friends with Damar. Chelsea's friends with Damar. Piper's friends with Damar. Or sorry, Ivan's friends with all of them.
Is it possible that Ivan and Maddie could be a thing?
Definitely is possible.
But I thought Ivan wasn't into like being religious, and
that's okay. This is why I've never thought that they were a thing, versus I thought that maybe Noah and
I also
Maddie.
just don't see their personalities being a thing. Honestly, now that you're saying it, Maddie and Noah's personality doesn't make sense really.
I just thought maybe Noah and Maddie because they're both openly Christians. I never thought that Ivan and Maddie were a thing because obviously that was a deterrent with Tayshia and Ivan, and that's such a thing for Maddie. But I don't know. I'm so excited for Paradise.
I just really am praying that it's not going to be like Last Paradise, where there's just receipts that we're not seeing, and that it's just, or not that there's not receipts, just I don't like when people are talking about TV stuff that happened off TV that we're not seeing. Like that's so annoying to me.
I believe that will be all of what Paradise is because
yes, and I believe we will have 8 straight weeks of that.
Because these people have been getting to know each other on Instagram through this pandemic, through quarantine, all of this stuff. Peter season's been around, so they're all now friends. I also feel like I am continuing to get confirmation that I do believe Goose will be on Bachelor in Paradise on the jumbo size, because Goose is now best friends with like numerous of Tayshia's guys, like all of like what Spencer and Chase and Bras.
Oh my God,
they all live in San Diego.
And Sarah
Coffin and Tammy, they were all hanging out with Goose, and Goose is always now in this like San Diego circle. So I firmly believe that Goose will get invited onto Paradise.
I don't even want to call him Goose because giving him a nickname is giving him too much.
A lot of people, I will tell you this, I know that there's a lot of people lately who have been softening to Chris Randone.
No, he is he who shall not be named. I will never give it up. I will never give it up. I will never give it up. You know why? God damn it! Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what did my anger management therapist tell me? No, I'm just kidding. The way that he talked to and treated Becca on her season to me.
I know.
The way he treated Tia on Paradise. And I was, me and Tia still had some beef on when she was on Paradise. The way he treated both those women, who are very good women. Oh, he is sick.
Oh my God.
He is sick. To me, he is such a misogynist asshole. Like, the way that he treats women, I cannot handle it. I cannot handle it. The way he treated Crystal, I know I talked about this last time. I don't care. I'm talking about it again. The way he treated Crystal when she was announcing like one of the happiest things of her life. Yeah. And for him to say it felt like a death. This is war on Crystal and Joe. No, I won't give it up. Like do you remember how he treated Becca? How he was just like,
I do.
You should have come to me, and like it was a gaslighting.
I will be completely real with you. Truth. Very in and out of Becca's season, okay. And so I do remember it kind of, but I'd have to rewatch it because I was half in, half out. No, I do recall Paradise.
Like, and his gaslighting was out of control.
I really did not. I didn't know him very well on Becca's season because I was in and out, but I remember watching Paradise and being like, no. No, his shit on Becca's season, like, he displayed extremely toxic, manipulative, gaslighting behaviors. And I believe that if Crystal had anything to say about their relationship, I know Crystal is one with her own issues, but like Crystal at the end of the day had her own issues. Can we have Crystal on the podcast?
I would love to have her on the podcast. I should DM her. I'll ask her. Crystal, at the end of the day, she's a kind person with a good heart.
Yeah.
She is. She's not out there to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
That's not a place that she's ever come from. Not even on The Bachelor, I don't believe. She never said anything mean about me. She never, I don't know. Anyway, Chris, on the other hand, like, I would be willing to bet. I don't think she's going to say anything about their relationship, but I believe that it was a very toxic, manipulative relationship because of him. and I do not stand him, and I will not, and I will fight him to the death. I mean, until I die, not to the death. I won't fight him and kill him. That's not what I meant. Okay, moving on.
Should we take a quick pause?
I need my phone back. No. Guys, I threw my phone and now I have to do the ad
phone
read.
across the room, but now she has to do an ad read.
Right. I am not well. I am unwell.
Just you. Can I get my phone for the ad read? I'm just joking. Chris Rando.
I should start like going to war with him on social media. I should start like commenting under his post and just be like, apologize to Becca and Tia and Crystal. Apologize to Glitter Baby. Apologize to Glitter Baby for saying that it was like a death. That's what they're calling it, right? Glitter Baby?
I don't know.
Yes, it is Glitter Baby.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Dude, if you start commenting underneath his posts, you know what I'm going to do? If you start commenting under Chris Randone's IG post, I'm going to screenshot that shit and make it into an NFT. I'm going to start selling those. Becca's comments under Chris Randone's post. New non-fungible token. Who's the highest bidder?
That is worth it, right?
No, that is community over cash.
Has he blocked me? No, I wish.
Oh my God. All right.
Okay.
Deep breath. Broads. You know what they say. Life is short.
Wait, I'm sorry. He has a book?
Oh, wait, does he really?
Transformation. Change your mindset, change your energy, change your life. It's a self-help book. Wait till I write a review about this on Amazon.
Oh my God. That's what she's going to be doing during our ad read. I mean, at first, you got to at least read it first.
Someone's Amazon review said, useful only if stranded and need fuel for a survival fire.
Oh, that's the meanest thing I've ever read.
Did I write that?
You're like, wait a second, was I sleep reviewing?
Okay.
Because I tend to do that on Amazon. I do a sleep review. It was sleep yelping. It's accidental. Oh my God. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
As I was saying, you know what they say, broads. Life is short. Buy the jewelry. I mean, okay, no one says that, but they should say that, okay? Because life is too dang short to wait for someone to gift you jewelry, or even worse, to wait for a celebration or a special occasion to wear your favorite jewelry pieces. 2021 and beyond is all about treating yourself to those little everyday luxuries, baby, and that's why we live for Majori. They create fine jewelry that can and should be worn every day, every single day.
Majori is our go-to for refined, high-quality, fine jewelry. I don't know why I'm not wearing my Majori rings right now.
I know, I
almost always am. What the heck? All of their pieces are handcrafted out of the most premium materials like 14-karat gold, sterling silver, and yes, even diamonds. And because they cut out the middleman and sell directly to you, you can say goodbye to traditional fine jewelry markups. That can sometimes be well over 10 times the cost of the product. So there's literally no reason why you should have to choose between quality and affordability. Because with Majori, you don't have to.
I love a good trendy piece of clothing or jewelry. I mean, obviously, but you have to have some of those solid staples that you can wear every single day. And that's where I turn to Majori. Their stackable rings are some of my favorite pieces that I own. They release brand new pieces every Monday, and just be warned, they're all amazing. So don't blame us if you can't help but buy something every week. At least orders. They all ship free for the US and Canada. There's super simple returns as well, and each piece comes with a 2-year warranty.
Visit majori.com/chatty for 10% off your order. That's MEJURI.com/chatty for 10% off your order. Majori.com. We love them.
Something 2020 has taught me, and probably a lot of people, is that so many things can be done virtually. Okay, school, work, celebrations. And while I am so excited to get back to doing some things in person, I don't think a doctor's visit is one of those things that I'm going to be rushing to, if I'm being honest. I mean, the crowded waiting rooms, trying to manage the kiddo during the situation, it's just a stress city. Okay, that's why I've been loving PlushCare this last year and will continue to use and love them for years to come.
PlushCare is so cool. They provide virtual doctor's appointments from the comfort of your own home. All you have to do is go online, pick a time that works best for you, and voila. That's really it. PlushCare is exactly the same as going to your doctor in person, minus all the annoying bits. You can be diagnosed, treated, and even have prescriptions sent to your pharmacy all within minutes.
It's amazing. PlushCare is available in all 50 states, which is great if getting to a doctor's office isn't easy for your location. Plus, they accept most major insurance carriers. When I needed to see a doctor for my reoccurring migraines, just getting out of bed was rough. And the thought of scheduling an appointment and driving there when I could barely see straight was completely just not on the table for me. And PlushCare made seeing a doctor so easy. And within hours, I was able to pick up my migraine prescription from my nearest pharmacy. I could not have asked for a simpler experience. It was so nice.
PlushCare makes it easier than ever to take care of yourself inside and out. You can start your membership today by going to plushcare.com/chatty to start your free 30-day trial. That's plushcare.com/chatty for a free 30-day trial. Plushcare.com/chatty.
All right. Well, now should we move on from some Bachelor content to some YouTube content?
Yes. First, I have to pee really bad.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Go pee. Okay. Had a pee break.
Yep.
So you want to talk some YouTube? Okay. I also want to say this too. I want to ask if the broads would be interested in this because I know we're about to get into YouTube, but before we decided to talk about YouTube, I was like, we should have an episode where we talk about because I saw on TikTok a woman who was a hostess talk about her celebrity experience and like get honest about like how they were. And I'm like, would the broads like if via certain friends or ourselves gave like our personal experience / tea about some celebrities?
Oh, you want to talk about Hailey Bieber? Let's go real. Jess is looking for an avenue, a channel to talk about Hailey Bieber.
Yes, I would like to talk about Hailey Bieber. I would also like to talk about, I was deep diving on Hailey Bieber and what it brought me to the realization of, because I love Justin Bieber's music. I'm a huge believer music-wise. And what I have discovered via the intranet about Justin Bieber, he's the worst. And I have a lot to talk about.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think this is a great idea. I don't think anyone will oppose this.
All right. I
don't have any celebrity stories.
Okay.
Or interactions.
Okay.
But I can probably get some through Jim, Gray's dad. And
yes, Gray. Get some tea from Jim. I'll get some tea from some other friends. And we can talk about we just have maybe a little segment on one of our new Bachelor episodes coming out, or one of the news episodes.
That sounds great.
Okay. Because I really want to talk about Justin Bieber as well, because I initially want to talk about Hailey Bieber, and then the more research I was doing on Justin Bieber, I'm crushed because I love his music so much, and I saw a lot of videos that were quite disturbing.
And there's a lot of people that have also really, really good reputations, and we could highlight that too. Like there's some people in industry, you know who's two of them? The Hadids.
Becca?
We were going to say them.
No, I was literally about to say to you that I have worked with both of them. They are the kindest people I've ever met, and everyone I've ever known who's worked with them talk about just how excessively kind and generous they are.
Mm-hmm. And just easy to work with.
Yes. Anywho, just a quick little cue.
Let me tell you something. Here's how I am to work with. I already know this. Like with people,
what are you about to say?
No, I was just going to say, like, for me, I would probably be not a really good mega celebrity because, I mean, I'm really nice to, like, waiters and staff and hotel, like, any little people. No, I'm just kidding. But, like, a makeup artist, stylist, like, I would never be rude to anybody like that.
Of course.
Who I am not easy to work with, I already know this.
The paparazzi?
No. Like, managers and like agents and like basically like higher up people. I feel like I just don't have a lot of patience for.
Okay.
But everyone else, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to make your job shitty. Yeah. And then anyone who's making 6 figures or 7 figures, I'm like, fuck you. I don't give a shit.
I think in a celebrity situation, I will say this. When I see like people saying like, oh my God, or like videos of different celebrities, I can't imagine what it would be like to be a mega celebrity and have you literally not being able to go anywhere without people every 5 seconds asking for a photo with you. Like, and you're having an off day or you're with your partner or your child. Like, I would imagine, I never have like those moments where I see videos and people kind of snapping at like a fan and go, how could you do that to a fan? It's like, that's 1 million people have come up to them today.
Or like the Britney Spears doc when she was, beating the baseball bat into the side of the car. Okay, we'll talk about celebrity shit.
Okay.
Let's talk about David Dobrik.
Let's talk about David
First
Dobrik.
of all, this is what everyone says. They're like, I don't believe that anyone should be canceled. Hot take. I do believe that some people should be canceled. I do. Mm-hmm. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not saying that, like, you dug up a tweet from someone 12 years ago where they said this one thing and it's a one-off and then I don't believe in those people being, quote, canceled and whatever. But there's some people where, like, the scale of the platform they're on, I do not think they should be receiving, like, any more sponsors, and because they have been grossly irresponsible with their platform. Mm-hmm. And I believe David Dobrik is one of those people.
So if you all don't know about what's going on with David Dobrik, David Dobrik is probably the biggest YouTuber like in the world. I think he has maybe the most subscribers. It's like between him and like maybe 2 or 3 other people.
Really?
As far as like vloggers go. Yeah.
Wow.
As far as vloggers go, you have like those kids toy review channels that have like the most subscribers.
Okay, kids toy review channels aside, you're right.
David Dobrik, he's one of the top. And there has been over the past few years, there have been a lot of YouTubers who have had to take accountability for past actions, right? People calling them out for shit that they did in the past, whether it be homophobic, racist, misogynistic, like all these things. And David Dobrik has had numerous vlogs of his that have things like that involved in them. And for some reason, everyone else gets like, or not, I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people get held accountable and David Dobrik is not. It's like he always is able to kind of skate by. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he is, this kind of smiley, like happy-go-lucky style person who constantly is just giving away tons of money and cars and all that. By the way, side note, what people don't understand is that, like, hot take, when you're giving away a car for a vlog and you have like 100 million subscribers, like, you giving a car away for a vlog is going to get you tons of downloads, and it's part of like the way for you to get more clicks.
Yeah, like the amount of people that he's given cars to.
It's like when you have a vlog that has however many millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of downloads on it, like it's
he has on average like 15 to 20 million views per video,
and there's lots of write-offs involved and all that financially.
Oh yeah, true.
Like he's making so much money that he
can buy those cars like as a write-off for his vlogs, can't he?
Yes, he can. So there's a lot of things that are involved. I'm not saying it's not great to be giving away stuff.
Before David admitted he was making around $300K a month on ad revenue alone.
Yes.
That's just like ads rolling on his channel. That's like not even including his sponsorships,
which the sponsors are paying like top dollar.
So he's making like $1 million a month probably.
I heard that he's making more. Like
more than $1 million a month,
yeah. And I heard that he was like worth like hundreds of millions of dollars. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, being worth and how much you're getting paid out is 2 different things, though. Like his channel is worth millions and millions of dollars.
So basically, people have been like trying to be like, hey, David has done this, David's done that, and he's had moments like where he's done, like a couple years ago, he went on his podcast and did like a very, very brief apology, like not really specific about like a few things. I don't even remember specifically what. He's had moments, but they're specifically known, the vlog squad who he's part of, is they say that they don't entertain drama. So they never talk about like when their names are in the news in any way, they're like packed as like they don't discuss it.
Sure, which to me is like a really sly way of being like, we're never gonna take accountability for anything either.
Right. So Trisha Paytas was once part of the vlog squad. Well, she wasn't technically part of the vlog squad, but she was dating Jason Nash, who is in the vlog squad as like David Dobrik's
sidekick.
Best
By
friend.
the way, for background info, these people are, well, David's I guess on the younger side.
He's young.
But some of these other people, like Jason, is in his literal 40s. I mean, Trish herself is in her 30s.
Yes. Yes. And when they're hanging out in like these like crews, it's like a bunch of like 18-year-olds with like, and then Jason's like in his 40s, and it's very, it's a strange dynamic.
So anyway,
and then Trisha, basically, her and Jason had a very like tumultuous relationship online. And she came out afterwards and she was saying all these things about the Vlog Squad, calling them out for certain things, specifically involving like a lot of underage people when it came to drinking and sex and all this, and just feeling uncomfortable.
And also like the exploitative nature of like that she was involved in, of how everything's being like farmed for content, and how like, and she in particular experienced a lot of different things of like stuff being posted on David's channel that weren't consensual. Like one time he hid in the shower while she and her boyfriend were having sex, and then like filmed that and then popped out like while she was naked and was like, ha. And if you've ever watched David's channels, his channel or his videos, it's always like, all of his videos are only 4 minutes long, and it's all 4 minutes and 20 seconds long, actually, to be exact. And it's always like, he's always in the back like, and it's always these like quick cuts between like shots, like boom, 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 boom. And basically, just to give backstory for people who've never watched before, like the whole vibe of his channel is like, we're young and fun and we're reckless and like we're having a good time. And so every video is like that. We're like, oh my God, he's chugging the Fireball. Now we're going to go drive out in this Ferrari. We're gonna get it. We're gonna buy everything on the menu at In-N-Out. Like we're staying up till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And every vlog is like that.
Yes, correct. Now, also another thing to note, when Trisha had the situation. Oh, quick aside. The conversation we are going to be having does involve sexual assault.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear before we dive into this, because it's about sexual assault and it's terrible. Yeah. So Trisha, that specific vlog, for instance, when David popped out of the shower when she was in the middle of having sex, or like was listening to them having sex, her and Jason Nash, her boyfriend.
And she said they'd been there for like hours, by the way, too. Yes. Like he was hiding in the shower for like hours.
She also then said that she told him she was not comfortable for him putting the vlog out. Now, Trisha, people then, of course, were giving Trisha shit, being like, you have an OnlyFans, so like, why do you fucking care? Which, by the way, is absolute bullshit.
She didn't even have one at that point.
No, but she was still, I think she's still she was occasionally like, being photographed nude or whatever. And
again, like, consent can be
goodbye. Consent is quite different if you decide to, whether it be like,
it can be removed at any time. Just because you post naked photos of yourself doesn't mean you want someone else taking a naked photo of you.
Especially you're fucking sitting in the shower the whole time. Like,
weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just one small thing.
So, but she said specifically, like, I'm not comfortable with you putting that vlog out, and he did it regardless. And that's been a big thing. That's also been a point of conversation, is that there have been many people who did not give consent and in fact asked for a vlog not to be put out. And when you were part of the Vlog Squad, either David didn't listen, or if you ever asked to have something removed or said I'm not comfortable with it, he would pay you off, give you cash, or you'd eventually kind of be pushed out and you wouldn't get invited to film anymore.
And you see this in the, like, all of this is stuff that we're talking about is like documented in the vlogs.
Receipts up the wazoo.
You see at times where like one of the girls is like, oh, I need cash. Like I'm broke right now. And he'll be like, go get my name tattooed on you. And like, I'll give you $200. And then she's like, oh, I don't want this in the vlog. He's like, I'll give you an extra $500. Like he's exploiting when people are in positions where they either want fame or they need money. Like,
yes.
And you see this time and time again. Okay, now let's talk about the Seth thing real quick.
Yes.
Okay, so then one of the more recent things that came up is someone who used to be part of his Vlog Squad. His name was Seth. He did this, I'm using air quotes, prank, where he told Seth, like, hey, for a video, we're going to have you make out with this hot girl with this like old person mask on. Mm-hmm. And like, that'll be the funny thing for the vlog. And
yes. Corinna, who's part of the Vlog Squad, who's very beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Do this. Are you cool with that? Seth says yes. Gives consent to that. Instead, they put Jason in this mask, who's, like we said, this older dude this dude in his 40s. And he's making out with him for like minutes on end. Later on, they're doing a podcast or a video, can't remember which, where Jason is bragging about this in hindsight, being like, I was getting my tongue in there, like all this. Okay. And they even talk about before or after making the video, they talked about how before doing this prank, they thought it would be funny because Seth is black and he's from Compton, and they say like, oh, in that community, you know, there's a lot of homophobia. So like, I'm sure Seth is gonna get so much shit from like family and friends. This is pointedly. This is recorded. Yes. This is not something that it's like, oh, I heard that David said no, this. It's like, no, was on their podcast. Just fully being like, that's why it was going to be so funny, because his community, there's some homophobia and he's going to get shit from his family and friends for probably years. Like, as if that's funny. That in and of itself is horrific. Regardless of that, Seth didn't consent to having this happen to him. He didn't consent to making out with this dude. That has nothing to do with homophobia. It has to do with, that's not the situation he consented to. Like, anyway, so he talked to David and basically like asked for it to be removed. Again, David tried to pay him off to keep it up. It was up for forever still. Mm-hmm. And Seth got slowly pushed out of the vlog squad until recently. Seth was like, dude, this happened. It's not cool. And he came forward and talked about how traumatic it was for him. And like how now, especially since he's been spending time alone in quarantine, how he's really like sat on it and thought about it and realizing like all of kind of the after effects of the trauma that he's experienced post that. And that he felt like it was to him a sexual assault. And he's only recently been able to like realize that, and that how the way that it impacted him. So anyway, that, you know, the vlog squad again was kind of like, oh, let's not talk about it. There's tons of other, by the way, these little things here and there. There's so many. And then there's so many examples of like the little apologies that would happen, that David would in his apology be like, I'm sorry that it seemed that way to everybody. And it would be these kind of just these like very dismissive, quick
never
things.
Taking no accountability.
Never taking. And if there was ever a problematic vlog, it would just be quietly deleted and never addressed. People started to notice minutes of his vlogs were disappearing. And by the way, there's something like last week, 66 million views of his disappeared, which means that he probably erased, you know, 3 or 4 vlogs.
Damage control.
Yeah.
That he's just now
being held accountable for, or being now concerned about, you know. So,
and there's other shit too, like you said, him doing blackface for his vlogs. Like there's plenty of stuff. Oh my God. The other one that I want to briefly touch on is how there's on the podcast with Jason, how he asked Jason, have you ever like, did people ever give you shit for being Jewish when you were in school? Did you hear about this one?
Oh, I think kind of.
Okay, so David in a podcast with Jason is like, did people ever give you shit for being Jewish when you were in school? And David was like, yeah, like I did. People would call me this, and like they would throw pennies on the ground and be like, pick it up, like Jew and stuff like that. And David goes, well, that's not getting shit unless this is put out on their podcast for someone who has one of the biggest YouTube platforms. Like, can you imagine? Like, I would never even think of saying these things, much less putting them out for people.
Yes.
Okay. So he goes, well, that's not really shit unless you're being like a sensitive asshole about it.
And then of course,
and then he goes, oh, people did that at my school all the time. Yeah, people did that at my school all the time. Like the teachers did it too. Like we had some really fucking cool teachers.
The relentless amount, and especially I will say specifically from their podcast. It's called Views. Specifically from David and Jason's podcast. There is, you know, and here's the fact of the matter. We know as podcasters, it's a lot when you're speaking for hours and hours every single week. It's a lot easier to all of a sudden say something off the cuff. It's not edited like how a YouTube video is, where like you film for a week and get like 2 minutes. You're, you know, having these things. So what's happened, I believe, is that I think more of the truth behind who David is has been exposed since the podcast came out, because there's confirmation of these quote unquote pranks, his intent behind things, the dynamic.
Like he can't even mask the Seth thing. Like his literal intent was like, this is going to be so funny.
Yeah.
Because he's going to get shit on by his whole community.
Yes.
Like that means that that's like a racially targeted prank.
Correct.
Okay. That's not even touching. Like that stuff is literally the tip of the iceberg, because
now all sorts of things are coming out.
Basically, Insider came out with this big expose, basically, where
during one of these nights where David was vlogging.
Which, by the way, this conversation was something that Trisha Paytas specifically had been referring to on numerous occasions. So this was not even something that came, I'll say in quotes, like out of the blue, like, oh, it's a surprise. Like she's been talking about this for a while, this specific situation.
This specific instance, which by the way, everyone always writes her off because Trish has plenty of a history of plenty of problematic things of her own and she is mentally ill. And so the whole vlog squad has kind of written it off as like, oh, Trish is fucking crazy. And she's bitter and like resentful of us because of, and she's like,
and you want to talk about like, yes, correct all those things. There's a lot of problematic behavior on Trisha's end, but like you want to talk about like a form of exploitation, the way that if you look back and watch these vlogs from David Dobrik, the way that he will exploit Trisha's emotions, knowing that she has borderline personality disorder and will then have these like moments of mania and whatever. And that's exploited to get like a good vlog footage is just absolutely sickening.
Yeah, and he's always trying to push her into doing like sexual acts or trying to push her boyfriend into doing sexual acts with other women and stuff that she makes it clear she's uncomfortable with, like bunch of that shit. That's able to be just written off because, oh, it's just her. She's crazy. She's a sex worker, whatever. Now, this came out. So, it got brought up on a formal level to the point where finally they had to address something. The vlog squad did, because basically a survivor came forward saying that she went. Okay. I kind of want to give like the Cliff Notes version of this, but basically one of the dudes of the vlog squad, whose name was Dom, like put out like on social media, like, who wants to come over and have a five some or whatever.
Yes. And they were like,
this girl and her friends
David was
came
like,
over.
this will be a great vlog. This
girl and her friends came over. They're like 19, 20. They're young girls. And David even says like in the vlog or whatever, like they're here, like they don't want to have sex with Dom. Like basically the girls, and I've been in this position, like being young, being 21 in LA, being like, oh my God, let's go hang out with these guys. Like, yeah, sure. Maybe she responded to his thing being like, who wants to come over and have a five-some? But it's like, you're having fun. You're like, oh my God, I'm going to hang out with these famous people.
Yes.
David even says in the vlog, like, they don't seem like they want to have sex. Like they're just hanging out. This specific survivor like made it clear that, she didn't want to have sex with this guy, Dom. He like took her into a private room at the beginning of the night and was like, cornered her and was like, what? Like, you're not into me? Like, what's the issue? Forced her to like, basically she felt like she had to kiss him in order to get out of the situation. They went back in. Someone in the group bought alcohol. This is a whole disputed thing of who bought alcohol for these underage girls. Or under drinking age girls.
David, it's also been like corroborated that like, David was like, hey, let's get them liquored up so that they'll have sex with Dom.
Oh, yeah.
So and he's specifically asking people, and this is then where the Trisha piece comes in, that he specifically asked her boyfriend, Jason, to go buy these underage girls alcohol. And then Trisha said, absolutely not. We're leaving. And that's when the two of them left.
Like, this doesn't seem like a good situation.
Yes. And then she heard that that David was asking then some of the other
guys to go get
of the
alcohol.
Vlog squad.
So what you see actually happen in the vlog, David literally says, using like his master powers of persuasion and master negotiation tactics, like he's got two of these girls in his room. Okay, that alone is like red fucking flag. What do you mean master of negotiation? If someone comes in saying they want to have sex, like consent isn't consent. I can't remember who was saying this, but consent isn't consent if you've got a bunch of no's and then finally work up to a yes. That's not how consent works. And I'm sure so many women, like myself included, know how that feels and know how those situations are not consensual and they are not okay. And every single one of you who's been affected, I have, nausea in my stomach. Every single one of you who's been affected by this coercion and like manipulation by men, I hear you. It's not your fault. And there's like, you didn't do anything wrong. And I know how that feels to be like, well, like I should have just said no, or I should have just left. Like, you did nothing wrong. It's not your fault. Like, and you have been, you have fallen, like you were a victim to someone who was trying to manipulate you and use power dynamics and tactics to get something from you. And that's not your fault. So, and then the girl's account of the story, she basically was like, I was drunk to the point of being blacked out. She didn't remember the night. Like the next day, her friends were like concerned because she didn't remember the night. Her friend who was in the room with her saw that she was literally losing consciousness as he was having sex with her body, to the point where then her friend even stepped in to finish him, because she was like, didn't know what to do in the situation where he was having sex with her unconscious friend. Yeah. And then after all this happened, her friends, by the way, before she even had sex with him, her friends were like helping her. She was throwing up in the bathroom, like drunk to the point of throwing up, before this guy had sex with her and took advantage of her. And then after was having to be carried out of the apartment, like by her friends. Like she couldn't walk out of the apartment on her own.
And by the way, there are photos, video footage
that are like friends were taking,
with them holding her up. All of the vlog squad, David, Todd,
all of them there,
Jeff, they see her. They see a woman who is completely blacked out, completely incapacitated, and then. This so there's photos of that, and there's also in the meantime there is vlog squad footage of the group of guys pretending to like look in to see them. Now, if there's all sorts of like the thing that is so truly to me disgusting about the situation is now you're having members of this vlog squad coming forward trying to nickel and dime what specifically happened. Like, oh, well, I didn't quite look in and that was filmed after. And it's just excuse me.
Yeah, and a lot of people are trying to say now, like, or not a lot of people from the vlog squad are trying to say that they like recorded these scenes after, where they're like peeking in, watching, or like when Dom comes out at the end. But here's the thing. Even if it was recorded after the fact, you got to ask yourself, why did they have to re-record or reshoot these scenes? Mm-hmm. Oh, why? Because they show that this girl is literally practically fucking unconscious as she's leaving the apartment, and that's rape. To boot, at the end of the video of the vlog that David published on his page, they're like, at the end, the very last scene, he makes a comment to the guys where he was like, what does he say? Like, we're about to go to prison.
Yeah,
see you guys in 20
and they laugh it off.
We're about to go to prison. See you guys in 20 years. Ha 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 ha.
Yep. And they laugh it off.
What the fuck? Like that leaving that line in. Why would you even say that? What would be the reason to say that?
Well, I was listening to the Frenemies episode when then Ethan and Trisha are interviewing Jeff from the vlog squad.
Yeah, so this is on the H3 podcast. They have a podcast called Frenemies.
And at one point, Ethan brings up the
and
fact
Jeff is someone who's from the vlog squad.
Who they
was
say
there that night.
Purchased alcohol for the underage women. He was mentioning how it's almost like when everyone knows that something was wrong, that it's kind of that like, like everyone knows that what happened was completely wrong.
There's no other reason why you would make a joke like that.
And that was his conversation that they were having with Jeff, even when Jeff was just like, I wasn't there. I didn't know this was happening. It's like, yes, but you knew what was happening was wrong. You knew it. Even if you weren't aware of what was happening in the bedroom with Dom, you were aware that there are young women who don't want to have sex. There are young women who are just coming over to like say hello.
Young women who are also influenced by the clout and power that these guys have. These men. They're fans.
They're fans. And
this is like if like Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio or whoever else or Jared Leto or whatever.
Yep. And so you all knew it was wrong.
You knew you were taking advantage of these girls in one way or another.
Correct. And what's now happening is like this thing where like, well, first of all, Todd hasn't come out and said anything, but and then David did it before the Insider.
Oh my God.
Like David came out and did like a literal 2-minute post on, of course, his channel that has the least amount of followers.
Subscribers.
Yeah, he did it on his like podcast. YouTube channel that has way less subscribers than either of his other 2 channels. Basically, like, he didn't even speak it in, like, he didn't even verbalize what was happening.
No, he didn't verbalize the thing with Seth either. He was like, to my friend Seth, like, missed the mark with that one. Sorry, guy.
He basically was just like, he literally said in his thing, he's like, I love what I do. I love my work and I don't want to disappoint people.
All that I care about is making people smile. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
All they care about is making people smile.
Don't give me that bullshit. At the end of the day, all you care about is that fat fucking paycheck that you get at the end of each month.
And then he also said something like, I always ask for people's consent. And that's when he's like, oh, sorry, Seth, I must have missed the mark on that one or whatever. And it's just like, dude, like.
And when people ask for the videos taken down, whatever, like
I'll take them down.
That's not true.
No. And so now there's a situation where David has basically said jack shit. Todd hasn't said anything. And now Jeff is one that's come out and is basically just trying to make it clear to everybody that he was not aware or part of the sexual assault.
I mean, to me, the stuff with him is just irrelevant. The thing that's so important is that you got to remember this. David, with his little fucking camera that he's never shutting off, David had footage on his computer that he was editing at some point. He does all the editing. He does all the shooting. He had plenty of footage of this girl being drunk out of her fucking mind, of this girl being incapacitated and verging on unconscious, being black out. Her friend said that she was like speaking incoherently. He had footage of that on his video, on his camera.
You see the photo and it's very clear.
Like, he had footage. He was there the whole time following everything. He knew exactly what was happening. He knew that girl was getting raped. And why else would you make that like little joke comment at the end either? What's the joke? That they're too young? Okay, that in and of itself is not okay. That they were too drunk? Like, he knew that someone got sexually assaulted. And you know what? He decided to maybe reshoot some scenes, clip it up a little bit. Just a fun night, just a fun time with the guys. Throw it up there. Rack up a couple more $100,000 getting that video up there. On a night when this girl is the worst night of her life. The worst night of her life. When she was raped by she didn't actually know who the guys were, but raped by like these teen idols. And I know that maybe Dom was the only one that did anything, but if you're the dude standing there filming, being like, let's get some alcohol in there, master of negotiation just got those 2 girls in there when he knows full well that that girl was blackout.
The thing too is it's like, again, it was so, first of all, again, as we've talked about a million times, consent can always be taken and revoked. Like,
and
please.
Consent can be given with someone. Everyone knows that. He's young. David's not old. I think he's younger than me.
Yeah, I don't know.
When I went to high school and college, we had plenty of conversations about consent and how it can be taken away and how consent can't be given when you're drunk. David fucking knows that.
Yeah, of course. Now, so you know for a fact, and I'm saying this on top of that, you add to the fact that it's verbalized in the vlog that they don't want to participate in that.
Right.
And you are the
From
one,
the get-go.
and you are the one who is now trying to gather up your vlog.
Your
so members
posse.
going, okay, so who's going to go
make
get them
something happen. Let's make something happen.
Well, it's boring right now. So who's going to go get them alcohol, get them liquored up so that this will happen, so that I can get good footage
the
for
whole
tonight.
theme of this vlog is to have Dom get a 5-some. Oh, which by the way, he talked about in an interview later where he's like, the 5-some didn't end up happening, the 3-some ended up happening. And I'm like, oh, no. Dom comes out and says, thank you, David.
Yeah.
In the vlog. Comes out of the room and says, thank you, David.
Yes. David Dobrik is 24, by the way.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit. He knows exactly what's okay and what's not okay. And in that little, apology, he didn't do, I've distanced myself from people, like Dom. No, what you're not addressing is that you filmed a sexual assault and you put it up on your channel and you don't give a flying fuck.
And the only reason that this conversation is happening is because now this article got put out.
And you got to do damage control.
And people have been trying to call this shit out with him for years. But he's like this impenetrable person that nobody ever, it just doesn't affect him. So instead what's been happening is he just has this nifty little process where as soon as someone calls him out for something, somehow that vlog disappears. No acknowledgement. Things just start getting slowly removed. It's almost like...
It doesn't work? All right, let's just
It's almost like he has his
Keep
archive.
going.
Like probably, let's be real. This is a hypothesis, but probably the man is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He probably has a big ass team, and they probably have this huge archive of his thousands of vlogs that they take their time slowly going through. And if anything seems problematic at this point, they probably ditch it. Mm-hmm. Just quietly, just kind of sifting through everything.
Yeah, because he's got, like you said, he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yes.
And he's got to protect
a huge team.
No. And at this point, like...
And if you see, if you've listened to any of the interviews, first of all, the silence of so many people. Second, the interviews where they literally will not even like say David's name. These like vlog squad members, everyone is so afraid of David.
First of all, YouTube should demonetize his whole channel. Is what should happen.
Yes.
Because all of his vlogs that are still, like, I don't think he's made a vlog in, like, more than 10 months, in, like, less than 10. Like, it's been a year.
Yeah, I think it's been a year that he's been off.
Those vlogs are still racking up views. He's still making passive income off of that. And YouTube should demonetize his channel.
And trust and believe he's making more views right now because everyone's now checking out what's going on.
Yeah.
And wanting to find shit. So, everybody's looking through these vlogs. He blocked
all the comments, by the way. That would say anything pertaining to any of these.
His fucking apology was called Let's Talk. And he took off the likes, disabled the likes, dislikes, and comments. I mean,
I'm just saying, I think that he should be canceled. He's set for a bazillion lives, like in terms of money.
Yes. And so what started happening? And like, I mean, the biggest like bravo to at least like Dollar Shave Club was the first company to say no thanks anymore and dropped him as a sponsor. And then HelloFresh. There's a few places or a few companies that were like bye, and so he's losing all this. And my thing too is I just wanted to say in the interview, the interview with Jeff, with Ethan and Trisha from Frenemies. And also then in Jeff's video that he made, something that kept being discussed is how he is losing all these sponsorships because of this. And like, woe is me.
Oh my God, disgusting.
And it's like, in this interview with Jeff says, I'm sorry, I don't want to necessarily speak out of turn because my memory is a little shaky. It was 2-3 years ago. And all I kept thinking about was that you don't remember. You have this shaky memory of a night that is so traumatizing to these women that will affect them for the rest of their lives. And you're sorry you don't quite remember it, but you're concerned about losing your sponsors. And so you want to stand up and say something because you can't lose your sponsors. But like, you can't quite
yeah. No, that's bullshit.
And this is the thing. And I told Becca before we started recording. So, my little sister, she is a big YouTube fan, which is like why I said I started getting into watching it. And I remember when she was watching all of these vlog channels, she'd watch like these family vlogs and a bunch of these YouTubers. And I remember her watching like Jake Paul, and Jake Paul was just like a goddamn dumpster fire, right? He's fucking lighting things on fire. He's rolling around in like his Lambos. He's like the most disrespectful mess. And I remember looking at my sister and being like, you do know the things he's doing are wrong, right? Like you do know that
okay way to act.
You do know the problems about this, right? And she goes, oh yeah, for sure. This is when she was probably like 13, 14 years old. We have a big age difference. And she goes, oh yeah, for sure. No, I know. But then on the flip side, she was watching the vlog squad, David Dobrik's vlogs, and I'm watching them, and I remember watching them and feeling so distraught because I'm like, I'm seeing this guy who's kind of like this puppet master behind, who I'm hearing him like gaslight someone like a Trisha Paytas who struggles with her mental health. I hear him
manipulating someone with his power and
manipulating
influence,
situations. And that watching those, I felt very concerned. I asked my sister, I'm like, do you see what's wrong with this? And she said no. And I remember that being like, you know, again, she's like 13 years old. So she's just like, they're having fun and he's so nice and he gives away things and they're all so happy and da 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 da. And I'm like, this is what scares me about this shit. David Dobrik's, like, his audience is like 10-year-olds. These are children seeing these behavior patterns being okayed because it's David Dobrik.
I was just on his Instagram. He presented the Nickelodeon Awards.
Yes.
And it's not just kids that watch it either. It's adults. But like you're saying, kids don't have the same power of discernment. And clearly a lot of adults don't either. To see how this person who has such a high level of responsibility is abusing his power and manipulating people for his career. And this whole, I can't stand the bullshit of like, I make people smile for a living. Like, you've just...
I just like this, through this whole situation with David, all the different, and then like his different vlog squad people coming out and all this, like with Seth, now with these women and like all of it, I just felt so sick to my stomach thinking what it must be like for all these survivors having to watch this.
Having to see him pop up on everything.
Yes, and seeing him, everyone just giving him a pass constantly and having his, having his people like Scotty pop up from the vlog squad and like fully like victim blame in a situation and defend David. But he's a really nice guy. He could never hurt anybody. And like what that must be like for sexual assault survivors.
Which, by the way, based on what people have said, like there seems like there's probably other situations like this that have happened on his vlogs before. There's
definitely conversation that there are a lot more stories that are going to be coming forward. So anyways, my thing too is like YouTube needs to demonetize this. But in the meantime, you know, I would say as much of like a curiosity as like I want to go through and fucking like look and find shit on his vlogs, I also don't want to be part of the machine that's paying him right now.
Yeah. Also, like we don't have to look any further, you know? It's like the shit is right in front of us. Like people like this, you know, this girl had the gall to, and by the way, someone else I remember made a video speaking out against like
Dom.
David. Or against
specifically
Dom.
Against Dom
and
years
the vlog
ago.
Squad stands are like so furious and like on it, where anyone who's spoken out against David, just period, receives like a barrage of dislikes and like vile comments, and basically like the whole fandom, just along with the way David approaches not addressing things and all of that, just immediately.
Yes, you're right. I forgot the woman who came out and initially called out Dom for sexual assault. Another girl got dislike bombed like crazy and people harassing her. So of course, nobody wants to come out and say something.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's currently kind of where the David thing stands. We definitely can keep updated on like what's going on, like as more things come to the surface news wise. You know, I'm very, very curious how YouTube will move forward with this, how all the other sponsorships will move forward with this.
How has YouTube not demonetized his channel?
Well, do you know that, did you hear Trisha talk about how anytime she talked about David, for some reason her channel would get, or her video would get demonetized?
Yeah. What?
And that's kind of a rumor in the YouTube world that if you talk about, there's a couple YouTubers, David being one of them, that if you have like negative things about them, your shit gets demonetized, your video. So you wonder, it's like when you have a creator like David Dobrik, who is one of the like top 5 biggest in the world, you have a machine like YouTube who is going to protect him. Yeah. You know, and I'm sure, and again, David hasn't even vlogged for a year, so I'm sure he's down, but at least when he was currently like, when he was like out doing all the vlogs, like his numbers, and I remember even reading an article probably like 9 months ago that it was like David Dobrik hasn't vlogged in a year and yet he still remains getting some of the most views on YouTube.
Wow.
Just on all his old stuff.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, Coco Melon's like top 3, you know, but
Coco Melon?
It's like if you have a toddler, it's like a nursery
Oh,
rhyme,
that's
weird channel.
No, I'm telling you, all the kid stuff
Yeah,
is the biggest because parents are just like, hey, here's my phone while we're sitting at the table and eating. I don't know how many times I've been like, here, Ember, watch this toy review. I'm trying to have a quick bite of my my nachos over here.
Yeah, I mean, you got to wonder what kind of sick symbiotic relationship David has with this platform.
I mean, you hear
like the shit I've seen other platforms get demonetized for.
That's what we've had numerous podcast episodes demonetized.
Yeah, I mean, they get automatically flagged when you're talking about sex and shit like that, but
so it's like, okay,
this one might
probably but it is what it is, but it's just like, yeah. There's been plenty of conversations with other creators. I've heard other creators talk about who are like very high ranking YouTube creators that it's like, oh, I have such and such, like the creator or the head of YouTube, blah, blah, blah. I'm like speed dial. And it's like, yeah, you make the call. And so it's like, yeah, you really have to wonder what type of relationship is going on. The fact that his shit isn't demonetized.
Anyway, we felt like this is something that people should be aware of and know about. And I think more people should be talking about it because David's doing everything he can to make sure that this shit doesn't come out. And I don't care. I'm fully in belief that he should lose all of his sponsors and that his platform should get demonetized. And I believe
absolutely. Yeah, no, you're exactly. That's just,
and so many other people like who are associated with him are not speaking out because you know what it all comes
everybody's
down to,
scared
baby?
about the money.
Everybody's scared. Money.
Everybody's scared about the money. It's like if David goes down, we're all going down and we're going to all lose, whatever. And
it's not right. Like,
it's not right.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we wanted to touch on that because like you said, I feel like it's all of a sudden getting really a lot of news in the past like couple days, but there are still so many like huge platforms, like news platforms that haven't even really addressed it.
Yeah. And just like people, I'm looking at all the people that I like, people who follow him that I know, who are on the list. I want to message each and every one of them.
Just be like, unfollow immediately. Are you aware? So yeah, that was, we went into some intense stuff, girl. We talked about NFTs, David Dobrik.
Well, this Thursday episode is going to be fun.
Broads, this Thursday, we have an episode coming out and we are answering all sorts of does anyone else questions.
Does anyone else blank?
So I'll just tell you this right now. We're about to record this biz and there are a lot of hilarious ones. There are also a lot of very vulnerable ones and we're going to get in some good conversations from those. So we will talk on Thursday. We love you all. Please look in the episode notes for different resources and ways to donate to AAPI folks. We're going to have those in the episode notes. So please check those out. And we love you so much. And we'll chat soon.